Mansfield Prison, or the Ohio State Reformatory, is to me an absolutely amazing place. Just the history behind it.
It's a huge prison in Mansfield, Ohio. It was used in the movie The Shawshank Redemption.
Just finding out the history of, when it was built in the 1800s and that it was just a boys' reformatory, then turned into a prison, and then going there and hearing all the claims of the death, the suicides.
Mansfield Prison is definitely one of the favorites, just due to the sheer size of the place and the stories and the murders and the suicides and just the tragedy. I mean, you're talking, it's prison. It's a bad, bad place. And there were stories of people being hung over the rails, of people jumping to their deaths over the rails, stabbings, beatings, just bad overall. And to be able to experience a lot of those things firsthand, I mean, obviously I wasn't pushed over a railing or anything, but I was pushed there.
It's been reportedly a place where disembodied voices and shadow people have been seen. A running man has been seen running through there, apparently with his throat slit, almost completely decapitated, because somebody apparently slit him from like ear to ear. Prison doors that have been slamming shut that people have heard, and we actually heard that. We actually recorded that ourselves.
We're upstairs in the warden's office. Now, back in the day, the warden's wife and the warden were going through a divorce. And what happened was, the story's a little sketchy as to how it happened, but according to the story, the warden's wife was reaching in the closet for something, ended up pulling the warden's gun down on accident. The gun hit the floor, boom, shot her. She ended up dying a couple days later. If that's the actual story, fine, but they were going through a messy divorce also.
The warden's wife, who actually was shot by accident when she opened a closet door, and a pistol or rifle fell from the top shelf and actually went off and shot her and killed her.
Regardless to say, she did end up dying from a gunshot wound. Well, they were in there trying to find the closet that the gun had dropped out of. And you clear as day hear a woman scream, like a faint scream. Then you hear a loud gunshot that echoes throughout the whole area that they're in. And then you hear a very loud woman scream after that. It was, it's one of those where if you listen to it, the hairs on your arm stand up, and just phenomenal. Unreal. You guys got to see it.
In the warden's room, again on the tour part of it, they said there was a smell of sulfur, which could lead to it being a demon. And shortly after they were still talking, Al's like, "You smell that? It smelled like a match went off. Not strong, but a hint of it." Okay, so again, is that suggested? They said it's sulfur, and all of a sudden we smell sulfur. All right, so you got to be skeptical and keep your investigator mind.
In the warden's quarters, we had people lined up through the hallway, and one by one, someone would say, "Do you smell roses?" And they're like, "No." And then a little bit later, the next person up the line would smell them, and then that would go away, and the next person up the line would smell them. So it was almost like this scent of roses were kind of filtering through the hallways and such, and it was very odd because this place is so stinky and smelly and dust everywhere that you would never in a million years think that you would smell roses coming from this place. But it is one of the very typical places that they have claimed you can smell really odd rose smells. They say it's from the warden's wife,